You start with one big table. Every row records a student, a roll number, a name, and a hostel room. It works. But a table this wide can hide problems. And the cure is to split it into smaller ones. Break it into two: an academic table with roll and name, and a hostel table with roll and room. Notice the roll number stays in both. That shared column is the glue we'll later use to stitch the pieces back together. This breaking up has a name: decomposition. Splitting a relation R into pieces R1, R2, and so on, whose columns together cover all of R. Simple enough, but do it carelessly, and you can quietly corrupt your data. So a good decomposition must pass two tests. After you split, two separate questions decide whether the decomposition is any good. They sound similar, but they are completely independent. A split can pass one and fail the other. First, lossless join. If you take the pieces and join them back together, do you recover exactly the original rows? No rows lost. And, just as important, no extra rows invented. Second, dependency preserving. Can you still enforce every one of your original rules by looking inside a single piece, without ever having to join tables back up to check? Lossless join is about rebuilding your data safely. Dependency preservation is about policing your rules cheaply. We'll take them one at a time, and the first one is where the real danger lies. Watch how a bad split corrupts data. Here is a small relation R with just two rows and one rule. A determines B. Both rows have B equal to 10, so that rule holds. This is honest, legal data. Now split R into R1 holding A and B, and R2 holding B and C. Their shared column is B. Each little table on its own looks perfectly fine. Now stitch them back with a natural join on B. Every row of R1 that matches a row of R2 on B pairs up. But look, both arrows carry B equal to 10 and both zeros carry 10 too. So every A pairs with every C. And that is the disaster. Two brand new rows appear that were never in our student 1 paired with C equals Y and student 2 paired with X. These are spurious tuples, phantom rows, silently invented by the join. The pieces looked fine, yet rejoining them produced corrupted data. That is a lossy decomposition, and it is the worst kind of bug, because nothing warns you. So the whole game is, which splits are safe? Happily, there is a clean test that tells you in advance, without touching a single row of data. It works for a split into two pieces, and it hinges entirely on that shared column, the intersection. Here it is. Let X be the set of common attributes, the columns both pieces share. The decomposition is lossless, if and only if X determines all of R1, or X determines all of R2. In plain words, the shared column must be a key of at least one of the two pieces. If it uniquely identifies rows in one half, the join simply cannot mix mismatched halves together. So no phantom rows can ever appear. Let's run it on the broken split from a moment ago. R1 was A and B, R2 was B and C. So the shared column X is just B. Now with the only rule A gives B, what does B determine? Nothing new. No rule has B on its left. So B is a key of neither piece. B alone determines only B, not all of A and B, and not all of B and C. The test says lossy, before we ever joined a thing. The phantom rows we saw were guaranteed. Now a split that works. Same three columns, but this time two rules. A gives B and B gives C. We'll split into R1 with A and B and R2 with A and C. This time the shared column is A. Apply the test. What does it determine? A gives B and then B gives C. So the closure of A is A, B and C, the whole thing. That means A is a key of R1, which is exactly A and B. One piece is enough, so the split is lossless. See it play out on real rows. Here are the two pieces, R1 with A and B, R2 with A and C. Because A is unique in each. Every A in R1 meets exactly one A in R2. Join on A roll 1 pairs with its one match to give 1 P X. Roll 2 gives 2 Q Y. Roll 3 gives 3 P X. 3 rows in, 3 rows out, and every single one was already in R. No rows lost, no phantoms gained. The rejoin equals are exactly. That is what lossless means. And the shared column being a key is precisely what guarantees it. On to the second property. A decomposition is dependency preserving if every original rule can be enforced inside a single piece, so the database can police each constraint locally without ever joining tables to check. Take the rules that live entirely inside each piece, pool them together into F prime and ask, does that pool still force every original rule? If yes, the split is dependency preserving. If some rule slips through the cracks, it is not. Here is the twist worth remembering. Go back to that lossless split, R1 with A and B, R2 with A and C. It rejoined perfectly. But watch what happens to the rules. So the pooled rules are a gives B and a gives C. But the original rule B gives C needs both B and C in one table, and no single piece holds them together. Is it still forced? Check the closure of B under the pool. The closure of B is just B. No rule in the pool has B on the left, so C never comes in. B gives C is lost. This split is lossless, yet not dependency preserving. To enforce B gives C, you'd have to rejoin the tables every single time. Exactly what we wanted to avoid. This tug-of-war has a famous punchline in how we normalize tables. Two target forms, and they make different promises. Boy's code normal form, BCNF, is always achievable losslessly. You can always split down to it without ever inventing phantom rows. But that stricter form can be forced to break a dependency across two tables, so it may not be dependency preserving. Third normal form, 3NF, is the sweet spot. It is always achievable both losslessly and dependency preserving at once. You give up a touch of strictness, and in return, you keep every rule enforceable locally. That is exactly why 3NF is so often the practical target. And the golden rule underneath it all, you must always decompose losslessly. That one is non-negotiable. Dependency preservation is highly desirable, but if you ever have to choose, never trade away lossless join. Your turn, take R with a B, C, and split it into R1 with A and B, and R2 with B and C. Suppose the rule B gives C holds. Is this split lossless? Pause, work it out, then come back. I'll wait. Here's the walkthrough. The shared column is B. Now what does B determine? This time we are told B gives C. So the closure of B is B and C together, which is exactly all of R2. So B is a key of R2. The shared column determines one whole piece. The test is satisfied, so the split is lossless. And the reason it now works, where the very same shape failed before, is that this time a rule makes B a key. If you saw that, you have truly got it. Trap 1. The deadliest. A lossy join usually adds rows. It doesn't drop them. If the rejoin produces even one tuple that wasn't in R, the split is lossy. Spurious data that is silently, dangerously wrong. Trap 2. The test is about the intersection. The columns the two pieces share, not their union. That shared column must be a key of one piece. Reach for the union, and you'll get the wrong answer every time. Trap 3. These two really are independent. A split can be lossless, but not dependency preserving, or the reverse. Never assume that passing one test means passing the other. Check both, separately. And trap 4. Don't mix up the forms. BCNF is always lossless, but may sacrifice a dependency. 3NF keeps both. That single distinction is why 3NF is so often where designers actually stop. Let's lock it all in. When you split a relation, you want two things at once: lossless join, so the data rebuilds exactly, and dependency preservation, so the rules stay enforceable. For a two-way split, it is lossless precisely when the shared columns form a key of at least one piece. Then the join can never invent a phantom row. It is dependency preserving when the rules projected onto the pieces, pooled together, still imply every original rule. So every constraint is checkable inside one table. And the trade-off? BCNF is always lossless, but may drop a dependency, while 3NF gives you both. Always split losslessly, aim to preserve dependencies, and you'll never corrupt your data or lose a rule again.